It was a bright summer morning in the bustling city of Chicago. Amara Williams, a hardworking single mother and waitress, was preparing for her shift at a downtown diner. She had dreams of one day becoming a chef, but life had thrown her more than her fair share of challenges. Despite it all, Amara never let anything dim her radiant smile. She was kind, beautiful, and always put others before herself. Her life was far from easy, but she carried herself with a quiet strength that inspired those around her. Amara lived in a modest apartment on the south side of the city, a place she had worked tirelessly to afford. It wasn't much, but it was hers, and she took pride in making it a warm and welcoming home for her young daughter, Mia. At just 6 years old, Mia was the light of Amara's life, a constant reminder of why she pushed herself so hard every day. Between raising Mia and working long hours at the diner, Amara had little time for herself, but she never complained. She was determined to build a better life for her daughter, no matter how many obstacles stood in her way. Then there was Ethan Blackwell. Ethan was the son of a powerful real estate tycoon, a man who had built an empire from the ground up and expected his son to follow in his footsteps. With his designer suits, expensive cars, and effortless charm, Ethan seemed to have it all. But beneath the surface, he was a man who had grown accustomed to getting what he wanted without ever having to face the consequences. He lived a life of privilege and excess, surrounded by people who were more interested in his family's wealth than in who he truly was. For a brief moment, Amara and Ethan's worlds collided. It started at an upscale charity gala, where Amara had been hired to work as part of the catering staff. Ethan noticed her immediately. She wasn't like the women he usually met at these events, women who were polished, calculated, and often more interested in his bank account than in him. Amara was different. She was genuine, witty, and refreshingly real. They struck up a conversation, and before long they were seeing each other in secret. Amara was cautious. Their lives were so different, and she knew that getting involved with someone like Ethan could only lead to complications. But Ethan reassured her, promising that their connection was special. He told her that he had never met anyone like her, that she made him feel things he hadn't felt in years. Against her better judgment, Amara allowed herself to believe him. For a while, it seemed like maybe, just maybe, things could work out between them. But then, everything changed. Months into their relationship, Amara discovered she was pregnant. She was nervous but excited. She thought of the life growing inside her as a gift, a new beginning. She believed Ethan would feel the same. But when she told him the news, his reaction was like a slap in the face. "Are you sure it's mine?" Ethan asked, his voice cold and distant. Amara's heart sank. "What do you mean, Ethan? You know it is." "I can't deal with this right now," he snapped. "I have a reputation to protect, my family. They'll never accept this. You need to take care of it." Tears streamed down Amara's face as Ethan walked away, leaving her to deal with the weight of his rejection. She couldn't believe the man she had cared for had turned into someone so unrecognizable. The man who had once made her feel special now made her feel like a burden, an inconvenience he couldn't wait to be rid of. But Amara was determined to keep her baby, no matter what. She had already raised Mia on her own, and she knew she could do it again. She worked tirelessly, picking up extra shifts at the diner and budgeting every penny to prepare for her child's arrival. Her best friend, Lena, was her rock during this time, offering unwavering support and encouragement. "You don't need him," Lena said one night as they folded baby clothes in Amara's small apartment. "You're strong, Amara. You've got this." But deep down, Amara felt the sting of Ethan's betrayal. She had written to him, asking for at least some support, but he ignored her messages. She heard through the grapevine that Ethan was busy enjoying life, attending lavish parties and dating socialites. Meanwhile, Amara's pregnancy progressed, and the weight of her responsibilities grew heavier. One day, while working a long shift at the diner, Amara fainted from exhaustion. Her manager rushed her to the hospital, where she was told to take it easy. "You're doing too much," the doctor warned. "You need to rest, or it could harm the baby." Amara knew she couldn't keep going like this. She decided to take legal action. With the help of Lena and a pro bono lawyer, she filed a paternity suit against Ethan. The case garnered media attention due to Ethan's high-profile family. and it wasn't long before reporters showed up at Amara's door, hungry for a story. Ethan was furious. "How dare she drag my name through the mud?" he ranted to his lawyer. But the court ordered a paternity test, and Ethan had no choice but to comply. The courtroom was packed on the day the paternity test results were revealed. Ethan's father, Richard Blackwell, was there, looking visibly uncomfortable. Amara sat quietly, her hands resting on her swollen belly, while Lena offered her support. The tension in the room was palpable as the judge prepared to deliver the verdict. "The test confirms," the judge announced, "that Ethan Blackwell is the biological father." Gasps filled the room. Ethan's face turned pale as reporters scribbled furiously in their notebooks. The judge continued, "Mr. Blackwell, you are ordered to provide financial support and contribute to the medical expenses immediately." But karma wasn't done with Ethan yet. As the court proceedings ended, a reporter approached Richard Blackwell, asking for a comment. Richard, clearly embarrassed, muttered, "We don't condone such behavior in our family." It wasn't long before Richard's company faced backlash for Ethan's actions. Investors pulled out, and the company's stock plummeted. Ethan's glamorous life began to fall apart. Socialites distanced themselves, and party invitations stopped coming. Desperate, Ethan reached out to Amara, claiming he wanted to be part of the child's life. But Amara had grown stronger. "My child deserves better than someone who only shows up when it's convenient," she told him. She had fought too hard to let Ethan waltz back into her life on his terms. She was determined to raise her child with love, stability, and the values she held dear. Months later, Amara gave birth to a beautiful baby boy, whom she named Elijah. With the financial support ordered by the court, she was finally able to enroll in culinary school and start working toward her dream of becoming a chef. It wasn't easy balancing school, work, and motherhood, but Amara was no stranger to hard work. She poured her heart into everything she did, determined to create a better future for herself and her children. As for Ethan, he faded into obscurity. The once charming socialite became a cautionary tale, a reminder that actions have consequences. His family's reputation never fully recovered, and he struggled to find his place in a world that no longer welcomed him with open arms. Amara, however, thrived. She proved that strength and resilience could overcome even the toughest challenges. She built a life filled with love, purpose, and the fulfillment of her dreams. And though her journey was far from easy, she knew that every step had been worth it. She had fought for herself, for her children, and for the life she deserved. And in the end, that was all that mattered.